Every light in the block goes out at once. Street lamps blink and die. Your phone stutters to black. The hum of the city collapses into a wide, quiet pressure, and then you hear it. Boot steps on concrete, close. You have no time for debate. You have seconds. This is the moment the grid goes down and decisions become survival. Quick legal note. The techniques in this video are for last resort self-defense only. De-escalate, retreat, and follow local law whenever possible. Here's the truth. You already have what you need. Not a gun, not a blade. You. Your skeleton is a crowbar. Your joints are levers. Your muscles are engines. Your brain is the trigger. If you can control the science of how you move and the chemistry of your fear, you can buy yourself an exit. This isn't spectacle. It's applied biomechanics and decision-making under collapse. When the lights die, the first thing that breaks is not the city, it's the mind. Panic narrows thinking and ruins fine motor control. The second thing that wins or loses is your body's arrangement. Stance, balance, feet, hips. Ground that first. Make your base a platform, not a target. Make a fist. For a moment, check your alignment. The index and middle knuckles should line up roughly with the bones of your forearm. If your wrist bends back on impact, you lose structure and risk injury. Your arm only transfers power if the chain is straight. Foot to shin, knee to hip, core to shoulder, forearm to knuckles. That's the kinetic chain. Power comes from the floor, not the shoulder alone. Breathing ties it together. Exhale on impact. Hold tension only as long as needed. Then we set. Feet matter more than hands. A narrow, high-centered stance lets you be knocked off balance. Keep your knees slightly bent, weight distributed. One foot back to drive through the hip. Your hips are torque generators. Turn them and your arm follows. Step in to punch, step out to escape. Footwork is the language of distance. If you lose that language, you lose the fight before it starts. Targets. Understand them without fetishizing violence. The eye, the throat, the groin, the knees, the base of the skull are high value because they interrupt attacker systems. Vision, breath, balance, mobility. The goal is temporary disruption. Create a window to run. Do not rehearse damage for its own sake. If someone is advancing on you in this collapse scenario, your first highest value actions are not punches. Voice, posture, and movement are your primary tools. Make noise, make space, bluff competence. A hard shouted command can freeze an uncommitted aggressor far more reliably than a sloppy strike. Show that you are not an easy target. If you can put distance between you and the threat, that's victory. If distance collapses and an impact is required, remember, physics, not fury. A well-placed, structurally sound strike will do far more than wild power.
When you close, tuck your chin, keep your elbows in, and breathe out at the right moment. Your fist is effective when the forearm supports it like a rod, not when the rest caves. Use straight, short motions. Avoid telegraphing. The elbow is a hammer. The heel of the hand is a wedge. Your shoulder shouldn't fly forward like a flail. It braces, then transfers drive from the legs. If a limb is grabbed, think in terms of fulcrum and leverage. Hands are strongest when they can create angles, not when they are pulled straight away from your bone structure. Peel the thumb first. The thumb anchors a grip. It's mechanically easier to free when you turn toward the thumb and create torque. Small rules. Where there is compressive force, create rotational force. Where there is pull, create counter-rotation and move your center of mass off the line of force. Defensive strategy over offensive detail. Distance is control. Redirect rather than block. A block meets force head-on and absorbs energy. A redirect uses angles to change the vector of an incoming strike, making it miss or become a glancing threat. Step offline. Move your head off the center line. If someone overcommits with a big swing, their base is exposed. You can move their arm and cut the angle to exit. This is not about winning a fistfight. This is about getting away. When you move your head, do it with your eyes. The worst mistake is the head that moves without vision. Keep your eyes on the attacker's center mass, but use peripheral cues. Chin down, protect the throat. A tucked chin reduces the chance of a decisive strike. Stay low to lower your center of gravity and increase your stability. Low center wins over high center when the ground is not guaranteed. Ground survival is a different world. If you hit the ground, assume the priority is verticality and escape. Guard, closed or open, is your initial buffer. Use your legs as shields and as unpredictable tools. If you have someone on top, bridge aggressively to create space and roll. Bridge by driving your heels hard into the ground, thrusting your hips up to break the opponent's posture, and then turning to create an angle to slip a leg free, rather than trying to beat raw strength head-on. The bridge is not about strength alone, it's about timing and creating an opportunity to scramble back up. If you can, face the ground with your limbs between you and the attacker. Don't expose your throat or back. Chokes and holds require immediate priority to escape, but do not try to outmuscle superior weight. Use small structural moves. Adjust your head, create space along the airway. Use the hands to remove pressure points, and toward the attacker's thumbs where the grip is weakest. The objective is the same. Get up and run. Stand as quickly as you safely can. Ground time is vulnerability time. If you do strike, remember the rule. Exhale on impact.
The exhale closes the ribcage and stabilizes your core. Breath synchronizes with movement.
If you hold your breath, your mobility collapses. Short, forceful exhales on violent effort keep your nervous system from overflaring and give you a rhythm to reset between attempts. In stress, your breathing naturally shortens and becomes rapid. That ruins fine motor control and robs power. Box breathing is a simple countermeasure. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. Practice it until it becomes a physical habit you can call in under stress. It won't fix everything, but it buys time and clarity. Fear has a physiology. When your amygdala lights up, blood moves away from your prefrontal cortex, your hands go cold or shake, and your ability to plan evaporates. You tighten, you tunnel. Training rewires that response. Under pressure, repetition creates muscle memory that runs without the higher brain. That's why you must not only know the moves in theory, you must practice them under load. Drills that raise your heart rate, drills with sudden auditory stimuli, drills where you perform tasks under time pressure. These impose stress in controlled doses so your brain learns to operate when the body is yelling to stop. Start small, train smart, use a coach. Safety matters. Supervised practice prevents bad habits and minimizes injury. Stress inoculation doesn't mean becoming reckless. It means developing conditioned responses. Check stance, control distance, use voice, breathe. Train like you expect to be tired, because in collapse conditions you will be. Train with a heavy bag so you feel impact, but also train loose movements, stepping, angling, disengaging, so you learn to create exits, not fights. The goal is to build a toolbox of simple, reliable options you can execute without thinking. Ethics must be visible in every move. Violence is a legal and moral line. Always aim to de-escalate. If you can turn and walk away, do it. If you have to use force, use only what's necessary to create your exit. Avoid premeditative aggression. Your responsibility after an intervention often begins at the first safe step away. Get to a secure location, document what happened, and seek medical and legal counsel if needed. Simple drills you can do alone. Stance and shuffle. Practice getting from neutral to a staggered, stable base and moving 3 steps forward, 3 steps back, and then to an angle, always maintaining balance. Fist alignment drill. Make a fist, check the alignment of knuckles with the forearm, then snap short punches into a pillow, focusing on hip rotation and exhale timing, not power. Balance drill. Stand on one leg and move the other in small circles to stress your base. Repeat on the other side. These build the underlying mechanics without turning into fight choreography. Remember the small tactics of the environment. A rolled jacket or backpack at your side is more than a fashion choice. It can be a barrier or a mask that changes how someone grips you.
A flashlight used as light can, if necessary, be used to create nuisance pain and surprise to make a window, but do not rely on improvisation as a substitute for training. Tools alter probability. They do not guarantee outcomes. When you are immobilized mentally, you will lose choices. The quickest path back to agency is a simple ritual. Ground your feet, breathe a counted breath, announce a command, loud, clear, and act. Your voice is a tool for both psychology and social signaling. It communicates to witnesses, deters uncertain attackers, and focuses your own decision loop. In collapse situations, bystanders are not always absent. Sound can recruit help. It can also draw attention. Use it wisely. You will be tempted to fix problems permanently. Don't. The legal reality after the grid goes down still matters. Self-defense is about survival and avoidance of further harm. Create a window to exit, and do not linger to secure a location if you can move to a safer place. Your objective is not to collect trophies of violence. It's to live to make better choices tomorrow. Training recommendations. Seek certified instruction in combatives or self-defense. Look for instructors who teach stress inoculation, who emphasize escape and legal ethics, and who push realistic, supervised drills. Combine this with conditioning that improves your ability to generate force from the hips and recover explosively. Squats, deadlifts, plyometrics, and sprinting build the same engine you use when escaping a threat. But fitness without skill is flawed. Pair conditioning with technical work, footwork, structure, breathing, breaks from grips. When the grid collapses, your head is the most valuable thing you have. Keep it. That means training the mind as much as the body. Daily micro habits, 5 minutes of controlled breathing, a set of stance and shuffle drills, and a quick audit of escape routes whenever you enter a new space. Make pattern recognition part of your routine. Where are exits? Who is near you? What could serve as cover? This builds situational awareness into your muscle memory. There will be moments when your training is insufficient. That's okay. Survival is a series of decisions, not a single flawless move.
Accept that you will improvise. The difference between improvisation that saves you and improvisation that gets you hurt is the kind of training that makes your response coherent under stress. The body follows the mind. Train the mind. Finally, practice ethical scenario planning. Think through how you will act if you are separated from family, if communications are down, if the law enforcement response is delayed. Plan meeting points, redundancy in critical items, and ways to avoid places that become choke points. When you have a plan, panic has less of a foothold. When you have practiced the plan, the physical moves you need become simpler and cleaner.
If you're committed to learning drills and watching practical demonstrations that pair technique with safe progression, subscribe and check the follow-up drills. Train with professionals. Use simulations that stress your decision loop, not just your punching power. You will not be bulletproof. Nothing in this video promises certainty. What you get is better odds, a clearer mind, a stronger base, and a set of repeatable actions that buy a chance to leave. When the grid goes down, survival is a discipline of choices. Keep the ethics front and center. De-escalate when possible. Use force only as a last resort, and aim to create an exit. You survived the first blackout. Now don't lose your mind. Stay cold. Train the simple basics. Keep vertical, keep moving, and get away. If you train, train safely. Consider a certified self-defense course, and check the resources in the description for recommended programs and further reading. Your best weapon is the mind that refuses to panic, and the body that practices to act.